Block my driveway. I don't know where your car went. This just happened. In fact, I am still a little pumped of adrenaline off such a little act, what a rush. So I live on a street connected to an elementary school. Other residents including myself have issues on weekdays around 3:30 p.m. that parents will be parked all along our street to go pick up their kids from the school at the end of it. There is no problem with that as I expected. We have a guy named Terry on our street. Terry had left all the neighbors a business card saying that if any people block their driveway to call him immediately and he would tow then right away. He is basically on standby from 2 p.m. 4 p.m. in our neighborhood. I never had a chance to use this card yet. The only issue for me is that I finish work at 2 p.m. and I go get groceries and usually end up home around 3:30 p.m. A few times now I have come home to park in my driveway and there is a vehicle completely blocking me. AKA instead of parking on the curb they will park at the end of my driveway and make it unable for me to park in. So I have to ask the owners to move. Today specifically, there was an old Dodge minivan block my driveway. When I got out of my car to knock on the tinted window I realized no one was inside. I thought maybe they are napping in the back while they wait. Well, nope. No one was in the vehicle. I couldn't get into my driveway. This is specifically annoying because the curb behind and in front of him were both vacant, maybe they weren't vacant when he parked there. So I got the card out of my glove compartment and called Terry. I gave him my house number and in less than 5 minutes he had that bad boy towed out of there. So what happened next? I decided to start cleaning my car on my driveway until the owner came by. My first plan was to tell the owner that he or she had blocked the driveway and I had it towed. But as I was outside cleaning my car, it's 22 degrees outside in November. Don't ask how Canadian weather works. I saw him coming back with his son. He looked incredibly confused as I was cleaning my car. I noticed him and didn't say anything as he was on his phone. So he actually came to me really upset. He said, "Hey pal, have you seen my van? Are you that much of a fucking asshole to call it for a tow when I was gone 3 minutes?" So my plan changed. I said, "Wait, what van?" And I decided to play dumb. Well, about an hour later he rang my doorbell and asked for details. I told him to fuck off. And came here to write this. Terry is back in his driveway with his tow truck though and I plan on giving him a 6-pack of beer for helping me. Some rando parked his van to block my driveway, I got it towed and played like I had never seen it. In my experience police and tow companies don't joke around with this sort of thing. Back in college I was renting a house with a very steep driveway. One dark and stormy night I had some friends over. When one guy went to leave, he had to back down the driveway. It turns out our neighbor also had friends over and one had parked his Mustang right across our driveway. Due to the darkness, rain, steep angle of the driveway, and how low the car was compared to his truck, my friend didn't see it and backed right into the door. We didn't know who owned the car or even which house it was from, so we just called the police to play it safe. They arrived and not only didn't cite my friend, but they ticketed the Mustang. The guy came out when he saw the police lights and moved the car before they needed to call a tow truck. To be fair, it's a legit safety issue. If there is an emergency and you can't get out of your driveway, that's a huge problem. Glad to see it worked out for me. Some asshole parked on my driveway to go to a COVID party across the alleyway. I called the police and they didn't show up until 5 hours later, way after the party ended. You won't take down my internet cable. Snip snip. So about a year ago I was getting some branches trimmed on a big evergreen tree in my backyard. The arborist told me I needed to have my power line and internet line disconnected so it wouldn't be hit by falling branches. I called the electrical company and they agreed to be out at 8 a.m. on the day of service. Easy. Then I called the internet provider. I explained the situation and they transferred me. "Hello, I'd like to schedule someone to disconnect my internet for tree trimming." "Oh, we don't offer that. Let me transfer you." I am not exaggerating when I say I was transferred around different departments for 2 hours. I kept getting transferred back to people I had previously talked to, but everyone seemed equally appalled by my request. I would explain disconnect the internet cable so the tree branches don't fall on it. But it was like I was speaking a foreign language. Finally I reached someone on the phone who offers a solution. "Sure thing, I can send someone out, it's $150 to send someone out and then you pay per hour." The person on the phone explained. "You're kidding, I have to pay for them to come disconnect the line, will they come back for free?" "It will be $150 for each time someone comes out, plus $100 for each hour." I was beyond frustrated at this point so of course I didn't schedule anyone to come out. The morning of the tree trimming I was out on a ladder with rubber gloves and a pair of scissors, ready to cut the internet line. Luckily right then the reliable electrical folks showed up to disconnect the power. "While you're up there, can you disconnect the internet?" I asked. "Are you sure?" the electrical guy asked, looking concerned. I looked pretty fucking determined at this point, being on a ladder and all. So the electrical guy did me a solid and cut the cable. The tree guys came and went. The next day I called the internet provider again, saying that my internet stopped working and I had no idea why. Then I went to work. The internet repair guy got sent to my house for free and then called me pissed off. "Who cut your tree?" he asked. "They cut our wire. This is a ton of work to fix, so I'm going to charge them for it." I told him it definitely wasn't the tree guys as they had come a week prior and my internet had just stopped working. It ended up taking him 5 hours to fix. The repair guy was bitching that if the internet had just been disconnected, it would have been an easy reconnection job, but now he had to wire down the road to their main fiber line. Too bad for the internet provider. I'm just glad it was all free. I had similar issues when I worked as a tech for a security system company. Customers would want us to disconnect parts of their security system for home renovation to take place, and call center would quote outrageous prices. So customers just tear the system out and call to cancel their service. Then the call center offers them a system upgrade to a new system for practically free to avoid losing a customer. Us techs hated it and it probably cost the company millions every year, but I got shrugged off when I tried to let higher-ups know. Fucking dumbass corporations burning money for no reason. They wanted to charge you an astronomical amount to do something that would have only taken 30 minutes to an hour. Only to send someone out for something that took hours and them lots of man-hours, money, to repair. All at a cost of $0 to you. My ex cheated on me and I couldn't get over it until what I did to her. First I would like to say I'm sorry for my grammar and maybe sometimes not correctly selected words, but English isn't my native language, so I'll try my best. Second, this will be a long one, so grab some popcorn and enjoy. This was very long time ago, about 10 years. She was my first serious relationship. I was about 18 that time. As you can imagine, it was first serious relationship, so I loved her very much. So it was like a dream. After maybe a year we started planning future and whatever, but she was 17 at that time. So when her mother found out we were also sleeping together, she wasn't very happy, and at that time I was angry, but now as a father I could understand. Everything was okay after her mother found out, but after maybe 2 months my ex told me she can't see me because her mother won't allow her to. I was confused as why now, but whatever, we were still together at least after school for few hours. After that it was every day worse. At some point we were together for only an hour, maybe 2 times a week. As you guessed, it was basically she came, we had fun time and she went home. At this point I was very confused because also her friends started to dislike me and her mother didn't want to talk to me anymore. And it went to even worse situation where if I wanted to see her I could only go and walk her from school home, and that was it. She told me that she can't go to Facebook because her mother keeps checking it, so she can't text me, but she made another accounts to text me from there, but she always seemed to be very cold when she texted me. At this point I decided it's all lost and I can't really do anything to get to her, so I decided to quit this relationship. I was very depressed because I loved her and it was just very hard and confusing that I couldn't see her at all. She agreed and it was hard but okay. Maybe 6 months later I became friend with benefits with her best friend and she told me what happened. She was sleeping with 2 other guys while in relationship with me and her mother never forbid her from meeting with me. It was all her story to get time for her and all those Facebook accounts was to talk to other guys because she was giving them passwords. I even met one day with her mother in shopping center and confronted her about her not allowing her daughter to talk and meet me, and she told me she was pissed about me breaking up with her long time before we broke up. After we talked a little she had no idea about what happened and was very sorry and felt sad about my ex. Fast forward 4 years. I didn't hear, talk or texted with her. I was gone for work in another country and sometimes I came back to visit my family. On one of my vacation with my family we met in city and all I said was hi and same with her. I came home and found message from her. I checked her Facebook profile before answering and while she was engaged and had 1 child. It was hard because I never recovered from what she did to me. But I texted back, we talked a little. By that time I worked out a lot and generally took care about me, so I looked very appealing to women. Next day she texted me she want to go somewhere with me just to talk and stuff like that. Since I wasn't home a lot I needed to get a haircut and asked her where to go. She picked me up and walked me to one of her friend to get my haircut. She gave me many compliments and her body language was talking for her. I knew exactly what she wanted. I came home and got text from her how amazing it was being with me again and she asked me if I would like to come to her place at least until I go back to the country where I worked. I played along, asked her for some hot pictures and sent her some of mine. Here comes my petty revenge. I took screenshots of our whole conversation, all pictures. She sent me texts where she wrote she want to have sex with me, how she misses me and so on, and sent it to her boyfriend. I told him what she did to me and told him what she was planning to do with me behind his back. At first he was pissed and insulted me, but next day he texted me and apologized and also thanked me. Long story short, they broke up. And after all, I felt very relieved. I saved this poor man and taught her a valuable lesson. After that guy, she found another guy and they are now married. And also after everything, I got over her and never thought about her again. With all the talk about her mother early on in the story, I thought you were going to end up in her bed. Ex's mother, the ultimate revenge. Oh, this video has come to an end. If you want more such cool stories, then go to one of the many following videos.